Hey guys, Xoranath here. Today I'm going to show you a beginner's guide to Territory War and Element Fission. This is designed for newer players who are interested in doing Territory Wars, but just wants to learn a little bit more about how it works. I'll start out just by, kind of talking about the goal of Territory Wars. So you are one of 3 guilds who will be competing in the Territory Wars. Matches are they start on Mondays and Thursdays, and they can last up to 2 days. Sometimes they're 1-day matches, sometimes 2-day matches, just depending on points. The goal of a Territory Wars match is to get to 20,000 points. So if we look here, there are resources collected, 20,000. You're trying to get to that 20,000 cap to win. Those will also be across the top of the screen during the match. And the way you get points is you get points per minute per tower that you own. Your guild will start with 12 reactors, and you will get points per minute for each reactor that you have. One thing that's super important, you guys, is that once you hit 13 or more reactors, you will start getting double points. So having 13 towers is more than twice as many points as having 12 reactors. So you really want to try to make sure that you hit that 12 reactor mark to get points. So basically, you start with 12. If you have more bases than you started with, then you're going to be getting a lot of points. Other thing to note is that you will always be blue team to yourself, but you will not be blue team to other players. So to the other guilds, from their perspective, they will always be blue team, and you will be red or yellow. Just want to make sure that you're aware of that. The way you get points for your towers is, if you look at the bottom left, we have this kind of main reactor down here. Everything that connects to the main reactor will provide you points if it's your base, and they're connected via these gray electrical cords that kind of snake everywhere. So your main reactor is connected to bases 1, 2, and 3, and then bases 1, 2, and 3 spider web out, and you can see the connections. So 2 is connected to 5 here, 2 is also connected to 6, etc., and it goes all the way out. You will only get points for the bases that you can trace that gray line back to your main reactor. So if we take, for example, if we go up here and look at Red's bases, let's say we owned this base all the way up here, but we didn't own any of these bases. We would not be getting points for that because we can't draw a connection back to our main tower. There are, 3 different types of towers. The first type of tower I'm going to talk about is the square tower here. I call these the 4-star tower. You are not allowed to put a 5-star unit onto these towers. So that means you could put 4-star units, you could put 3-star units. So ideally, you want to put probably 3 4-star units onto these towers. You can also put, 3-star units in there, so you can do 4-star unit, 3-star unit, 3-star unit, etc. The other type of tower, the next type that I want to talk about is the triangle tower. I call these the 12-star towers. You are able to put units here that their natural stars add up to 12. So what that means is you can put a 5-star unit, you could put a 4-star unit, and a 3-star unit. So 5 plus 4 plus 3 gets you to 12 stars. You can also put 3 4-star units, so 4 plus 4 plus 4. That's also 12. And technically, you can also do 2 5-star units and then like a wisp, because 5 and 5 is 10. However, I wouldn't recommend that comp, especially if you're just starting out with Territory Wars. Ideally, you probably want to do the 5-star unit, the 4-star unit, and the 3-star unit. If you do have, the 3 4-star units, you're probably better off putting them onto the square towers or your 4-star towers. But work with what you have. If that's all you have to fill the towers, put 3 4-star units on there. You can even put, some 3-stars on there if you need to. But you want to put your strongest units that you can. The last type of tower I want to talk about is the circle tower. I call them the 5-star tower. There's no restrictions on the units that you can place on these. So, ideally you probably want to put 3 5-star units onto here, but you can also put 4-star units and 3-star units in any combination onto those. So, just work with what you have. So each individual tower, you can put 5 defenses on. So each of these little green bars adds up to the defenses, and there are 3 units per defense. So to create defenses, what you need to do is go down to this placement button down here. This screen will pop up. You can place up to 10. You can create up to 10 defenses for yourself. So everybody in your guild can create up to 10 defenses. Once you have a defense created here, you are then free to place it onto a tower. A couple notes here. So yeah, each defense has 3 units. And especially if you're a very new player, I might do a guide after this on team compositions, but make sure your team has a leader skill. It's usually the little, thing up in the top corner that will give your units some extra bonuses. Couple notes on creating defenses. You can only use each unit that you have one time. However, if you have duplicates of a unit, you can build, you can use the duplicates in different defenses. You just can't use the same unit in multiple defenses, if that makes sense. So if I have 2 copies of Green Bear, I can put Green Bear into 2 defenses. If I have only 1 copy of Green Bear, I can't put that 1 copy into 2 separate defenses. A couple things to just make sure you remember is, 1, fill all of your towers with units. So if I look here, this tower has this little white bar. So the green bars mean the defenses are filled. This white bar means that it's missing a defense. Make sure all of your defenses are filled if you have enough, obviously if your guild has enough defenses to do that. The other thing is to make sure that all of the defenses you have on your towers have gears. If they don't have gears, there's a little exclamation point that appears on the team, and you could see which ones are missing gears, and you guys can coordinate with your guildies to make sure that they get some gears on them. All right, so the next thing I want to mention about that is you can also, through the creation here, the creation menu, the placement menu, you can share your defense with your guildies or with the chat in general. So the purpose of this is to, you put your units here, you can send that out to your guild, they can test it out for you and let you know, like, hey, I think this is a good defense, or no, this is garbage. And that'll just help give you a sense of if your teammates think your defense can work. And you could also test your own defense, so you could put 3 units here and then hit this defense test button, and then attack it with your own units just to test things out. Okay, so next I want to talk a little bit about battles, and first just how you can attack. So you can attack bases that are connected to your bases. So again, remember the gray little lines. So if I'm at this blue 8 here, there's a gray line connecting into this 12-star tower from red. We can attack into it. If I go look at this R10 tower here, it has a connection into this red tower and a connection into this yellow tower, so we can attack either of those. You will get, there's a currency for attacking. There's these attack coins. You start out with 30 of them. Every unit that you use to attack will cost 1 coin to start out with. So if your first attack, you will use 3 units. You'll attack in, attack into red here. You'll use 3 coins for those 3 units in total. So 1 coin, 1 coin, 1 coin, or 3 coins. So that means that if you don't use any repeated units, that you will generally have 10 attacks during a territories war match. 10 times 3, that's your 30 coins. You can use repeated units. So let's say there's a team that you don't have a lot of units yet. You have one team that really works. and you want to use it multiple times, you can. However, there is an added cost to that. So every time you use the same unit in a battle, it costs 1 additional coin. So the first time you use a unit, 1 coin. Second time you use it, 2 coins. Third time, 3 coins, etc. So if you use this a team once, it'll cost you 3 coins. If you use that exact same team and don't switch any of the units out, that'll cost you 6 coins. So it's double, right? So you will be able to use those repeated units. However, you will have less overall attacks because you've spent more coins. So you want to be very careful and really only use the repeated units if you have to. Ideally, you're just going to use a bunch of different units, but sometimes you don't have a unit that's going to win, so you just want to go with that same team. A courtesy for your guildies is whenever you go in to attack a tower, there's a little button you can click that will reserve the tower or reserve the defense. So you could say, hey, I'm going to go in, I'm going to attack this, I'm getting my team ready, I'm getting my gears ready, etc. That way others know not to attack into it. It's very much a courtesy to others to just reserve your fights. If you win your match, your guild's little blue flag will appear next to that defense, and once you have defeated all 5 defenses, your guild will take the base. Just a note here, so there's 3 teams at battle. It needs to be 5 wins from your guild onto a tower. So if we're looking at this red tower here, yellow can also attack it, so they will also be trying to get to 5 wins. Whichever guild gets to their 5 wins first will take the tower, so sometimes there's a little bit of a race to see who actually takes the tower. But pay attention to that. So 4 blue wins and 1 yellow win doesn't mean that this tower's gone. You need 5 blue wins for the tower to go down. Once you take a tower, it will be in what's known as the rebuilding phase for an hour, and during that time, you can't attack the tower, and you can't attack from the tower. So it's kind of like invincible or out of play. So what that means is, let's say we have done our 5 wins onto this red tower here. We've taken this tower. We need to wait an hour before other guilds can attack our tower, because this will become blue. So yellow can't attack into it for an hour. Red can't attack into it for an hour. But also, we can't attack from it. So I can't go up and hit this 4-star base until the rebuilding period ends. When it is in the rebuilding phase, a couple important things your guild needs to do. One is you need to refill the defenses on it, so it will start out empty with no defenses on it. You need to go in and add defenses, and those defenses come from you remember whenever we were creating defenses, so some of these defenses are on towers to start with. You can have additional defenses that are kind of in your defense pool, so you will be able to refill the tower that you've just took with the defenses from your defense pool. Another thing to note here is it's a very dynamic, fluid situation. You're gonna be taking towers. The other guilds are gonna be taking towers. They're gonna be taking some of your towers. And once one of your towers falls, so say this 9 falls, all of the defenses that were on 9 go back into our defense pool, and we can move them onto other towers. So let's say we have lost our 9 tower, we've taken this red tower, we can move all the defenses we had here up onto that tower if we want, or any combination of those defenses plus the extra defenses we had in our defense pool. So very important that you guys are refilling towers. If you don't refill the towers within the 1 hour time slot, you can't add defenses later, so it becomes an empty tower, and whichever guild clicks on it first will get the tower for free. So very bad situation to put your guild in if you leave defenses unfilled. You want to coordinate with your guild leaders on whose responsibility it is. Maybe just the guild officers or guild leader is filling towers. Maybe everybody filling towers. Maybe whoever just took the tower needs to fill it. Kind of coordinate that within your guild. Another thing to note is during that rebuilding period, you're free to add defenses and take them off as much as you want during that time. So, maybe you just want to make sure a tower's filled. You put your defenses on. Your guild leaders can go back in, and if they don't like what's on there, they can change them. Okay, and with that, guys, I'm going to talk a little bit more about rewards. So let's say we finished the match. We've gotten our 20,000 points. We came in first place. What happens? What's the benefit to that? So if we go and look at this reward screen, a couple things. So first, you're going to get depending on what level or rank your guild is going to put you in like a tier for what kind of rewards you can get. So let's say you're in a Ruby 3 guild. If you come in first place, so you've gotten to 20,000 points, this is the rewards for that. There are gems and guild points. If you come in second place, there's slightly less, and if you're in third place, even less, right? So you will get points based on your, the tier that your guild is fighting in, and then the rank that your guild comes in the match. And then the way that you individually will get points is via this contribution points system. So if we look at this screen here, there is a contribution points, and then there's a percentage number. The percentage number is your contribution points relative to the rest of your guild. So you will get contribution points in two ways. One is you win your attacks. The other is you get wins on defenses. So you have your defense on a tower. Enemy from red or yellow attacks your defense, they lose, you will get guild points or contribution points for that. So you will get points, we just discussed based on your rank and position in the match, and then through these contribution points, and more importantly, I guess, is the allocation here. This is what's going to determine the exact number of gems and guild points that you get at the end of the match. So the higher the contribution percentage, the more stuff you get. And this number is capped at 20%. So if you've done 20% of your guild's contribution, you're going to get the max rewards that you can get. If you do 25%, you get the same as 20, etc. Now, with those guild points, the way you spend those is down at the shop. There is a guild tab, and you can spend them on whatever you guys want. But yeah, that's what you do with the guild points. Yeah, I hope that was a helpful overview for you just to understand how territory war works. I may do some more follow-on videos to this where I talk through team compositions, things like that. Let me know, one, if you guys found this video helpful. If you want to see more like this, let me know what things in territory war you want to know more about. Let me know if you have questions. Yeah, and with that, I just, again, want to really thank you guys for watching. And, if you did like it, definitely like the video, subscribe for more. And with that, I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks a lot. Bye.